afraid of him, but I knew the time was coming, right? And me and Brett had a whole, I'll kind of give you a little rundown, right? I met him in 2014, end of it. My buddy Fillmore, who's another country artist,
Mhm.
was filling in on guitar for him, right? So we were all just young, kind of dudes running around playing, and he couldn't do it. And literally, I played a show with him in Nashville, and he was like, "Yo, Fillmore can't play. Can you hop in and play guitar with me next weekend in Atlanta or something?"
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another show of the Determined Society. With me today, guys, I have an amazing guest, as always. This one hits a little different. I didn't meet this gentleman at the event, but I went to a concert with my wife. It was a country singer. I'm not going to name him yet, but he has a song that really stuck with my wife and I as we were early on in our relationship. And I'll say the song right now. It's in case you didn't know. There was a specific day that I was riding around in my truck talking to my now wife, and she says, "If you really want to know how I feel about you, listen to this song." And I had never heard it before, but it really connected with me, and it stuck with me, and it's been our guy. But that's not who's on the show tonight, and that's okay. I'm super happy to have this man, Matt Ferranti, with us. He grew up in a church band, and then he began out, singing country music. And this is our first country recording artist, y'all, and a damn good one. He
Amen.
was with the Brett Young Band for 8 years, and he's now touring solo, and I can't wait to see him in person. Everybody, welcome Matt Ferranti to the show.
Everybody, thanks for having me, Sean. Hey, appreciate you so much, man. It's been a pleasure. We've been chatting about it for forever, but it's nice to kind of finally culminate and get on the show, man. Thanks for having me.
No, dude, it's really cool, man. Listen, Matt, my wife and I, our thing is concerts. We really connect with just the atmosphere. We have certain people that we really love to go and watch.
Yeah,
And when we were in the concert, it was in Tallahassee, that small show you guys at the amphitheater. I
yep.
was finding a way to kind of get close and like take my wife to the concert, and I saw Tallahassee. It was super small. We were right up front, and I told you this the other day, and I said to my wife, I'm like, dude, that guy right there, man, he's gonna be big. And she goes, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Dude, that guy, like not Brett, like that guy." So I really enjoyed listening to you open for Brett and just your energy. You can tell you have passion for the music, and you just weren't there to perform a show. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you were fully invested. It's in your DNA. And the thing that I love most, I'm like, I'm gonna shoot this guy a follow, and then I, you don't ever really hear back from people sometimes. And I'm sure there's people listening right now. They go, "Sean, I never heard back from you." Well, listen here, motherfuckers. The reason why you haven't heard back from me is because you messaged me trying to sell me
You
some
know,
stupid shit. All right.
that's fine.
But I sent him a personal message like, "Hey man, saw you in Tallahassee. Really enjoyed you." He said, "Thank you." Shot me a follow back. And like, here we are, like it was a year ago that
Dang, for
concert.
real? We've been talking about it for that long. Dang, that's crazy.
I think, dude, I don't know if we've been talking about having you on the show for a year, but I know the
Oh, we've been
show was about a
communicating for
year.
that long. Okay, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, we've been kind of, you know what, dude? Time flies.
Who
We
knew?
might have been talking for that long, man. Like time flies. So, man, I
Yeah,
was just,
that's
I'm super happy to have you on, dude. So,
yes, sir, man. I'm glad to be here, bro. For
oh
real.
yeah. And if you guys are watching on video, he has a Detroit Tigers mug. It was made one of one and a hat as well.
In a hat.
Yeah.
Big fan. Big
My
baseball.
man's from Michigan. My man's from Michigan. So, dude, again, let's dive into it, dude. Are you still touring with Brett, or are you mostly now just doing your solo?
So basically, I came to him. I forget even the date I came to him. It was kind of terrifying, honestly. I mean, not that I was afraid of him, but I knew the time was coming, right? And me and Brett had a whole, I'll kind of give you a little rundown, right? I met him in 2014, end of it. My buddy Fillmore, who's another country artist,
Mhm.
was filling in on guitar for him, right? So we were all just young, kind of dudes running around playing, and he couldn't do it. And literally, I played a show with him in Nashville, and he was like, "Yo, Fillmore can't play. Can you hop in and play guitar with me next weekend in Atlanta or something?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, sick. Let's go." And it was like years and years and years later, like, I just left in January. Um, but yeah, like right around the time my baby was born, which I wouldn't suggest quitting your job and having a child in the same fiscal part of the year, right? I would not suggest that to anyone. A little
Uh,
terrifying, but not. But they were so gracious through it. But we've been talking about it for a couple of years. Like in 2020, jump ahead now, all these years of touring. 2020 comes around and he's like, "Yo," end of 2019. Sorry, he's like, "Yo, like, dude, your songs are getting better and better. Your voice is getting better and better. Like, I see you just kind of maturing as a man." And I think you can hold some pressure on them shoulders of yours, bro. I think it's time for you to start singing your own songs. And I was like, yeah, like, sure, dude. Like,
yeah, man.
I've been always been thinking about it.
Mhm.
Never really had someone like come alongside, like, and be like a champion, like directly like that ever. My parents have always been, you know what I'm saying? Have great parents, ministers, as you'd said. But this, as in the big leagues, in the big boy shit, right? This is like, I never had no one come around side me and like really kind of help mentor me, whatever. And
Mhm.
bro, we got a record done. He co-produced my first record. He got me with Jimmy Robbins, who's a big producer in town. He's got cuts up left and right, up and down, whole city block. Um, and we were ready. We were ready to go to like to Sirius, like on the highway or like other kind of independent radio stations or whoever we could get to listen. And then quarantine happened, right? So quarantine
Mhm.
messed with a lot of people's business. Same with me, and it kind of felt, there were times where it felt like I wasn't gonna get that shit back. It was
Mhm.
gone. It was like, man, I worked my whole damn life, all these years, all these lessons, like, it started to compound a little bit. Obviously, you take some CBD, if you know what I'm saying,
Oh, trust me, I do know.
who saw that shit right
You
out, kind of recalibrate. And like, you get back on the horse and you keep fighting and whatever.
Right.
But me and Brett thought it was going to happen a certain way, and the world gave us lemons, and we had to pivot. We had to pivot and start changing our mindset up. So it was hard to come to him because I wasn't coming to him knowing I was going to ask him to leave with how I thought I was going to leave. We both thought like I was going to sign a record deal, and that was going to. I was, hey man, I signed with Warner, or I signed
Yeah.
with Columbia, or I signed here. I got to leave, bro. I'm sorry. Like that's how we thought it was coming, and it didn't happen that way. So I just had to make a decision. I had a kid coming. I was like, yo, I gotta. It was time for little bird to get out the nest and start flapping his damn wings, and I just had to make it, call the shot. Um, I basically put in my month's notice at the end of the
Mhm.
year. Brett was gracious enough and paid me until February, like just because he's a G, just because he's a homie. And yeah, bro, it's been preparation mode ever since.
Yeah.
It's just been pivoting from what it was to what it is. The tricks that I was doing back then don't work now in the city when I'm doing city life every day. And I'm trying to be a dad, and I'm trying to be a good husband still, and I'm trying to be present in everything that I do. And so it's been crazy, but I can't say nothing but great things about Brett and what he did for me in my career. I still think I've got a little bit more of the ladder to climb, if you will, but I don't
Mhm.
think we have. I don't think we're done touring together. I feel like at some point in time we're going to link back up and I got to go accomplish some things, in the meantime. But I know it. That's how close we are, bro. And the whole team, they're my brothers, man. I've been with them for so long, and
Dude, that's really great to hear, man. The fact that he's that gracious to pay you through February, especially when it didn't look like the exit didn't look like it was what you guys thought it was going to, and
yeah,
and it's funny
yeah,
to hear this because there's a lot of people look at public figures like yourself and Brett and just whoever's in the public eye, and they don't really understand that y'all go through the same shit that we go through on a daily basis. It's just may look a little bit different, right? The
yeah,
thing that I love about this story though, and I'm so grateful that you're on the show because
yeah,
this show is where stories of determination lie, bro. Like this is
yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
And
No,
so,
that's why I followed you instantly because all of a sudden, oh, and I saw what you were promoting. That's why I'd love to be a part of it, bro. And I'm glad to be here. But just that's amazing. Yeah, we're determined. That's how it is. Like
yep, yeah.
you get kicked down, you get back up, and all that shit.
It just never works out, like, and that's the thing that I want the audience to understand is, like, dudes like you and everybody out there in the public eye go through moments where they think something's gonna happen. They think they're going to ascend, and then something completely uncontrollable happens. And then now what? The biggest thing that we can do is respond, not react, right? A
Yeah.
lot of times we can get in that panic mode. And I can't even imagine how hard it was for you. Let's walk the audience through that hard decision, because like you said, I do not recommend
Yeah.
quitting your job a month before you have a kid. It's your first child, right?
Yeah. First one.
Bro, that takes balls, man. Like, and I commend you for that. They're living out your dream. Walk us through that process that you went through.
I wrestled with it for a long time just because without leaving for a record deal, right? It's or something similar, distribution deal, have it what you be, fill in the blank. It's
Mhm.
like I'm the blessing. The other side of it is that I'm playing in front of 3, 5, 8, 10, 20,000 people every single night.
Mhm.
I'm meeting like all of the Live Nation reps around. I'm meeting other guys as tour managers, other guys as content people.
Mhm.
Like I get to travel on a $1 million bus. I can write songs whenever I want. Like I kind of had it set up to where I could do whatever I wanted. Okay. So it was hard. It was hard, but then I realized that it came with the lid. That whole thing, even though I had the amenities to it's like tricking out your summer home, right?
Mhm.
When you're at your summer home, you can go down your Peloton bike, but maybe when you're at the vacation, you just want to crack a beer and just sit there.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Well,
and,
vibe
and
out, man.
I'm not saying that's how it was, all the way around, but it's I kind of basically it came with that lid, and I had to understand like, yo, like I have to live within my means. I can't have a summer home. I have to have what fortifies my home here in my center of myself.
Mm.
And that was it. And that made it abundantly aware of the decision I had to make. If I'm going to look this little dude coming in the face with any conviction about chasing anything, this is the time to do it. And it was and it because if I stayed any more with that lid maybe it was even it was my own lid. Maybe that's what it was. I'm not saying it was like Brett was, anybody else holding back. It's like
Mhm.
once I got over myself, really, whatever it was, I needed to really just give 100% in my own stuff. And I feel like that passionate conversation is what he heard. And he was like, dude, I get you, bro. Like, have it. Go with blessings, man. And I was like,
Dude, this
all
this
right.
right, yeah, that fucking metaphor, the summer home, is, guys, for you that are listening or having a hard time deciphering, I hope not, because you guys are all smart. That's why you listen to this show and
Sorry.
watch the show. Is that is a metaphor of, hey, get out of your comfort zone. Like, you were too comfortable in that area to grow personally and in your own music, in your own style. And like you
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
certain tricks that were working aren't working anymore. You had to revamp or just completely renovate yourself to a
Yeah.
point where you were proud of that man that you are. You had a
Yeah.
little boy coming. Like, and and that's something, guys, that fathers go through. It's like, how can I look at my child or my children? So I have 3 now. Like, how can I look at my children if I don't go chase this? Because my decisions don't affect just me. It's a ripple effect to my wife and my 3 children. It is not about me anymore. And now guess what? It's not about just you. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, that is an awesome story, because there's a lot of people that get to that point right there, bro, and say, fuck it. And they lay off the gas and they just say, dude, I'm eating filet mignon every night. I'm on Brett Young's fucking bus.
Dude,
Like,
straight
I
up.
mean, like,
Straight
dude,
up.
I am, there doesn't get any better. Right.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about the contrast now. Right. So now
Yeah.
you're, doing your gigs. Uh, how, when you initially made that move and you started playing in your own shows and doing your own thing, what was some of the underlying variables that you went through? Like, oh my God, like, this isn't what I'm used to. And how'd you get through it?
Um, you know, some days the answers are complicated. Sometimes I can use the metaphors. This is kind of simple. Now, I've just been running, dude. I've been running for a long, long, long. I'm a runner, but I'm a grinder. I'm just
Mhm.
like I'm more like I don't know what to do with my hands and I sit still for too long. Kind of
Like a Ricky Bobby.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like, fucking, you're
So
here.
so just the flexibility of my own schedule has always been something that I've kind of craved, because that was either for my own shows, or that was even for vacations with my wife, or that was
Mhm.
for kids' birthdays now, like any of those little important things that as a tour musicians, and that's what most people don't know either, is like sometimes you got to miss that. You miss out on important stuff when
Mhm.
someone else is paying the bills, and all of a sudden you have a show in Australia.
Yeah.
You got to make up for it with little, with my kid, and I hadn't had to do that yet. And if I had to, I would, because that's what it takes. And I get it. But
Yeah.
um, um,
But
give
I
me
mean,
that
to your
start, baby.
point, yeah, to your point though, like that's the thing. It's like when you have your own schedule now, right? You
That's
don't,
okay. There it
you
is.
you know, you're the you're the captain of your own sea now. So there's going to be days when later on down the road, hopefully really really soon, that you are that person on that $1 million bus, and it is
Yeah,
your
yeah,
tour,
yeah.
and then mama and boy can come with you.
Yes. But until then, like just the being home, acclimating to like almost normal day life. That's really been the hardest point, and that's that tour guy living out of a suitcase coming home to like now all of a sudden my suitcase hasn't been put away for 2 months. My wife's like, dude, you ain't
Like,
going nowhere until July, bro. Put that away.
hey, you can set that shit in the attic now, motherfucker. You don't need
Yeah,
that. You're here. You're here, homie.
yeah,
Now I
yeah.
get that, man. It's funny because even when I go on a trip for work and I come back, it's always hard for me to put my suitcase away. I can't even imagine the difference in lifestyle and just the mindset shift that it takes, because like, let's be honest, you're married, you have a child coming, but you're touring. So sometimes it's almost like a long distance relationship, and you're completely disconnected with what's going on at home. And then when you get there, it's a culture shock, not just for you, but her as well.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so yeah,
So,
dude, that's an adjustment.
that was even just marginally, getting as her being pregnant, still touring. Like she was pregnant. Like I had just had my kid, and within a couple weeks, maybe 2 weeks, I had to go on like a 24-day trip to Europe with Brett. It was like my last like little haul. So I only saw him for like a week and a half, and then I had to
Oh,
bounce out.
damn.
So luckily, mother-in-laws, like the whole family, they helped out, made sure it was. But that was the hardest point. Now it's been great getting into a system. I love structure. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm my best self when I'm operating on all cylinders, and that comes with just everything being kind of lined up. I'm not just like I can't just wake up and drink jet fuel and be a jet, bro. I
Yeah.
gotta just prepare. I gotta be in my shit. So now it's like my son gets, I'm up at 6:45 every day, get my mornings with him, kind of get my mind right, start attacking stuff around 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. I either leave for co-writes. I'll get done around 2:30, 3 o'clock. I'll either come home and chill and be a dad, or I'll go play gigs, and I'll rinse and repeat, man, all week. And then I either will go play shows on weekends, or I'll just be dad and let mom go to work. And it's great because I feel like I'm whooping so much more ass now.
Well, you are, because, and this is the one thing that I think a lot of people miss, dude. And this is why I always say success leaves clues, right? And for those of you that are listening and watching, is the fact that he's talking about a schedule, a regimen, a process, whatever the fuck you want to call it, his standard, his core responsibilities. Like, if you were just listening, he just read out his whole day, what he was going to do at 6:45 to 9, and then from 9 to whatever. So when there's a lot of people out there that say they can't get organized. What would you tell those people?
Uh, here's the thing: is ask for help, man, because there's got to be somebody around you that is better at it than you are,
Mm,
that can help contribute at some capacity to help make you better, even if it's just setting reminders on your phone. There's different tricks of the trade depending on, I'm super ADHD, bro, and they told me when I was a kid, like, why doesn't he paying attention to photosynthesis? So I was like, bro, because I just don't give a shit
I
about
don't
it,
give a
bro.
fuck about it.
Why?
Like,
I'm trying to play my saxophone, bro. Leave me alone.
exactly. That's some funny shit, dude. My wife always loves to point out, well, it's because you have your ADHD. Like, I understand.
Yeah,
But when I go for something I'm hyper focused on it, right?
Yes,
And that's
yes.
just the thing. I always ask myself, and I don't know if you have a touch of this too. When I sit there and I'm like having to edit or getting to edit one of my episodes,
Yep.
there always comes a time in that process where I'm like, I really don't want to edit this.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really not that good at editing. But I tell myself, well, until this gets to a point where it's so big and I have a team doing this shit for me, I need to operate like a top
Yep.
0.0001% podcaster. I need to operate like what would Joe Rogan do right now?
Yep.
What would Andy Frisella do right now?
Yep.
If they had to literally edit their own show, where they bitch about it or they do it. And so I have to think like when you're sitting there, because there's got to be those days. Not everybody's going to wake up every day and want to do the work, man. Like it's just not.
Yep.
We are not wired for that. We are not wired for risk. We are wired to like say fuck it and survive and retreat, right? And then we have to mentally reprogram ourselves to push through those days that we don't want to do those things. Talk to us about that. Like, do you have those days where you just don't want to and you still find a way to get it done?
Yes, that I normally find those days come after I either overexert myself and don't take care of myself. If
Mm.
those two things are done for like together at an extended period of time, bro, you'll be amazed what like a liquid IV thing does and a good night's sleep. I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
goes a long way, right? I mean, waking up with fog, there's different reasons why you don't want to do something, and it's rarely because it's lost its luster. I've been playing music my whole life. Some days I don't want to go play a 4 hour gig because my voice is tired from beating it up all weekend. Not
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to go play 4 hours of the music. It's like,
Yeah.
so then I have to learn how to correct my schedule, right? Because now I think, okay, I can't be letting my coworkers down like this if I show up
Yeah.
unprepared and can't sing. I got to, so then it becomes like, just chiseling away little things at your regiment to like find little pockets of flex here and there. And again, that's what helps make me efficient. That's why I can be a good dad, whatever. But it wasn't easy, man. It's like that's also what Brett Young touring is how it made me do. You live off a master tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
Master tour is a scheduling app. The bus get there 8 o'clock in the morning. Breakfast is at 9:30. This and that. Like you kind of pick and choose your day. You figure out what your path is, but it's all the same shit, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, man. I mean, I just think that's it. If I chasing structure isn't a bad thing. It especially now if set your alarms. I worked off alarms before I even figured out what Google alerts were. You know what I'm saying? I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, oh, I had a Woosa alarm on my phone for literally 4 years. Literally, just like, oh,
just to sit. Okay, breathe now,
I'm
Matt.
sure you can imagine what time it was too. But
Yeah, I bet you. I bet maybe 4:20 or somewhere around there.
but yeah,
No,
dude.
man, I respect it, dude, because
Yeah,
structure is such. I think. I mean, in kids, you'll find this, man. Like you're probably already seen it with your boy. How old is he now?
he'll be 9 months here. Like,
Yeah, I was thinking
yeah,
coming on a year
yeah,
is, they thrive off structure, right? Whether it's a feeding structure, nap structure,
yeah,
same thing with adults, right? And professionals. Like if we don't have structure, we kind of flail around in the wind. For me, what you talked about is if you didn't take care of yourself the night before, overexerted yourself. For me, like if I can tell you right now, if I have something to edit this Sunday, but I go out to a neighbor's house on Saturday and I get in too deep with the 40s, because dude, I still drink 40s, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm gonna do that. You fucking like, hey,
hey,
the old Corona ones with the dark bottle,
yeah.
dude, there's certain friends that I have that I'm gonna enjoy a 40 or two with. Yeah, or maybe even more. Like, who am I
Well, I
lying?
want to
Who am I
drink a
lying to,
40.
guys?
Oh,
Like,
damn.
well, I'll drink a 40 with you anytime, bro. We're gonna get connected in person anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But like, and we will do some 40s. But you know, the next day I won't want to do shit. Like, quite honestly, it does something to me to where I have to stay away from it at certain points in the time. I have to schedule it out. Like, okay, well, I probably shouldn't do that this weekend because I got this to do.
yeah,
Right. And
yeah.
and we'll be in it, right? We'll be going hard. My wife will go, remember you have to edit this show tomorrow.
Yep,
Remember you have
that's
this
it.
with the girls tomorrow. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. And then the next day I'm like,
Oh no.
someone fucking shoot
Oh
me.
no.
And it's not that often, bro. Straight up, dude. I don't do that very
Yeah, yeah,
often
yeah.
anymore. Special occasions. Like if you're in town or I'm where you're at, like I probably have about 4 or 5 40s. I'm sorry. For those of you guys listening to me, look up to me and think I don't drink once in a while. You guys
Yes,
are
sir. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, dude. Trying to think what else.
It was a rant. Like I have a rant. Like a lot of times, dude. Like and this is the thing. Like for me, I'll go on these rants, and at the beginning of my podcasting journey, like when my guests would go on rants, like I would forget what I was going to say, so I had to like learn on how to retain information. But I just it's just so funny because I can get lost in a thought in 2 seconds. It's gone.
Dude. All of a sudden, the ring camera thing is like, oh, why is there? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
like,
Dogs
oh, birdie,
barking.
birdie.
Yeah,
That's
dude, it's
it.
like fucking shiny objects and I'm done. I'm like
Stupid,
chasing them. But
stupid.
dude, so talk to me, man. We're
Yeah.
we're about a year deep on your solo journey.
Yep.
We were talking the other day and you're like, dude, I got some really cool stuff to talk about. I want the audience to hear what you have going on now and the amazing things going on in your music career.
Well, I think even as I was trying to figure out how to promote myself properly, I look myself in the mirror every day, and I know what I see, and I believe in what I see. Right? But sometimes the idea of holding like holding a phone and being like, I was always kind of conditioned, or like, if let's say there's peer pressure when we were kids, right? I'm a little bit older than some cats, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you just had to be cool, right? Whether like now, who knows what that means, but to me, it was just hey, like I didn't have to remind everyone that I was cool. You just were cool, right? And
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of this culture that's just like, hey man, let me tell you how cool I am real quick. Let me give you 15 seconds of coolness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that's just never who I was and who my friends we were raised around. That's not what we did. So all of a sudden I'm getting off a tour, getting off this, and like I'm seeing everybody blow, and I'm saying this encouraging to them, blow past me, but just like their socials blow up because
Mm-hmm.
they're putting time in to this important new work from home platform that you
Yeah.
can entertain people with. And it was like, I did. I feel like I was a little stubborn, got a little left behind, and had to eat my pride, bro. So now I feel like I'm trying to preach this grown man shit, bro. I'm trying to
Yeah.
preach like yo, like the structure, like loving your son, like do it. Yo, this just to being a good dude. How do you be a good dude, bro? And this is the one thing growing up with my dad being a minister was that it's kind of ministry oriented, but you know, ministry and me didn't really get along. I'm a little rough around the edges. You know what I'm saying? I love Jesus a lot, but ministry's
Sure,
where
I bet. I
you know
do
what
too, man. But like sometimes he's like looking at me and I'm like, bro, you made me.
I'm saying?
You knew
Yeah, I'm
this was happening.
sorry. Yeah.
Like, it's your fault, man. It's just like I'm like, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah. But like, that's why I can be transparent online. That's not needs to be trying to be cool. It's like,
Mhm.
there is about being it's not even tough guy, but it's like a bunch of tattoos, crazy looking dude, and I'm just singing pretty songs about structure and my
Yeah.
wife, dude. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was like,
Yeah.
hey, this is what is important to me. This is what is translating into me having success, and that's what I want to sing about. And it's cool, bro. I'm writing a lot of cool songs. One of the biggest things I've got to do since getting off the road with Brett is just be focused on creating, right?
Yeah.
I'm a butterfly, bro. I just want to create all the time, right?
Yeah.
And this was like the all right. Let's pour on structure to contain the creativity to like just force it. Basically, it's like you're a swimmer, bro, and like, hey, don't come up for air for a couple months. Just stay down and work, bro. And I'm like, all right. So it's what is it? Today is the first, May
No, I think it's
31st.
still the 31st.
Okay, 31st.
Yeah.
And we got like 40 plus songs, bro. Like our pace right now, we're looking at 100 songs this year, fully produced, fully done,
Wow, dude.
right? And that is something I've never had in my entire life. Like is someone else, like this other team of creative people behind the computer that can help me make these ideas into stuff that can be eligible for highway play or whatever.
That's so
So
cool, man.
that's one of my favorite things I'm doing. Is just all these the shows are cool. I love playing shows. I love performing. That's easy, right?
Mhm.
If I spend all my time doing the thing that comes easiest all the time, like I really put in time to working on stuff that I haven't been putting time into, like social media, like songwriting, and now when I start releasing all this new stuff, you're gonna see it all just kind of.
I can't wait, man. I
together.
can't wait. And
Yeah,
like, dude, to your point, like you've never come off as too cool. You know what I mean? Like you've always been
yeah,
super personal. I think too, that, man, and we could talk about this, but there's a lot of people out there that, have a lot of fame and have done a lot of cool shit with cool
man.
people like yourself. And man, they're dicks. And I'm gonna tell you, dude, I've done some cool things with some cool people too. I played, baseball at the best baseball school in the United States of America. At LSU, I played with big leaguers. Like, then they weren't obviously, but now they're former big leaguers, couple World Series champions, and they're good dudes, man.
Yeah,
It's actually funny. I think I told you this yesterday. I played against Brett in college.
yeah. You told me that he was at Ole Miss and you were at
Yeah, he
LSU.
was, man. He was just there, I think, earlier this year with Coach Mike Bianco. He did some stuff
Yep,
there, and
yep.
Bianco he was an LSU catcher. He
Really?
played Bianco played at LSU, man. Yeah, yeah.
Dang. Okay,
So
okay. That's
yeah,
it.
man. It's so funny how, like, the world is so big, but it's so small.
Yeah,
And like I told my buddy, I was like, "Hey, man, I got this awesome show tonight." Boy, Matt Ferranti. He's like, "Oh, what's his deal?" I go, "Oh, he's a country artist. Toured with Brett Young for 8 years." He's like, "Who's Brett Young?" I was like, "Bro, like, what are you talking about?" Like, first of all, we played against him in college. He goes, "Oh, that dude, the pitcher? Oh, I didn't know he was singing country music."
no shit.
I'm like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, seriously.
He's got 10 number ones, whatever it is now. It's like,
It's nuts, man. It's nuts. But no, man, the show ain't about him. But I just, it's really nice it was really nice because I saw you, I started following you when you were with the band, and then you
yeah,
know, your exit, and then just watching you, grow your social, put out your content, and
yeah.
showing you living your life, loving your wife and your child, and still doing the big boy stuff like your music. Like, to me, it just shows what type of person you are. And the people that are listening, I just want them to really truly understand there are people out there that are really living their life and sharing it with the social media followers, or you can call them teammates, whatever you want to call them. But I want to encourage these young people that are listening now to shoot you a follow, because
Yes,
you're going to
please.
see somebody
Please.
doing some cool stuff. You're going to see somebody ascending, and you're going to want to be there for that, guys, because he's doing it with a good heart. And there's a lot of people that don't.
And I appreciate that, bro. Hey, but you said it right. Anybody that's listening, best thing you can do is just interact with me on any social media platform you
Mhm.
can. Any likes, any comments, any follows, any subscribes, any of those things, even for showing yourself, like, it does wonders for us as social media performers or
Yeah.
platform hosts or anything like that. So thank you ahead of time. I appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, let's be friends, man. Let's be homies, because you're gonna get that real shit from me.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. It's so funny. Like, you're talking about, being a creator and how important it is to us. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes I think like Instagram just likes to fuck with me. Like, I really feel like, okay, like, I'm not going to show this to anybody just to piss you off. I put out a video today, dude, like, straight up. It was a good video, like a really good video. It was a very like short 15-second video,
yeah.
bro. I'm sorry, by, I put out there like close around 7 a.m.
Okay.
By 8 p.m. it had 116 views. I'm like, what? Literally my worst performing reel ever.
So you're
And
like,
it was, and so to me, but my point is like, for those that, actually watched it, interacted with it, thank you, because it does mean something, right? A lot
yeah,
of people
yeah,
say, hey, just put that shit out there and don't worry about it. Just do you. No, when you're a creator and you give a fuck,
yeah,
like, you're
yeah,
gonna have a reaction to it. It's just like when you create your music. If people say, well, I don't like it, it's not personal, the fuck it ain't.
yeah,
Came
straight
from
up,
my heart, you know?
straight up. And that's what's kind of just the discouraging part too of it, where it can be, but like again, your and I worth doesn't come with how many likes we get. Now,
No.
other people want to say that that's what it is, okay? Now, and they
Mhm.
are valuable, but man, I mean, creativity comes in so many different ways, bro, and it's hard to box it up sometimes. People like to try, but some days you get 150. Other days you get 150,000. Other days you
Yeah.
get something like this. We're like, oh shit! All
It's
right,
like a mixed bag. You're like, fuck, I've ascended again. And the next day you're back down there on the mountain. And it's funny because you're at the base of the mountain, right? And that's
yeah,
just a lot about how life is. And it's a lot about how careers are. One day you can think you're up here and climbing, and the next day you're back at ground zero. Those moments are very, very difficult to handle. What I
yeah.
always like to ask my guests is like, how do you deal with those types of moments, man?
Um, man, protect your circle. I mean, to me, it's all about having like the right people to bounce stuff off of.
Mhm.
It's much easier to have like maybe just get off your, not like a therapy, not so much a therapy session, but like because sometimes therapy can be awesome, and I'm a proponent of that. But sometimes, unless it's like purely occupational, or like I'm talking to another artist who's doing the same shit that I'm doing, some like you can only get certain perspectives for certain things. So just I would be intentional about trying to find those things, right? Finding, I try to talk up to people. I try to talk to bigger artists. Like, yo, how the hell did you handle this shit, bro?
Mhm.
You got dropped from your first deal. Because I feel like I just got dropped. How does this apply to you? Tell me what you did, right?
Mhm.
Um,
That's humility too, man.
yeah,
Like, that's the
yeah,
ability to be humble because there's not a lot of people that will do that. I will absolutely, reach out to somebody who is bigger than I am that I have, some type of communication with. I'm like, "Hey man, I'm experiencing this. Like,
yeah,
what did you do? Like, and like how did you feel? Because right now I feel like I'm losing." And that's the thing is there's a lot of people that come up to me like, "Dude, your show's grown so much. It's an
yeah,
amazing show. Like your episode with so and so helped me so much." I'm like, I didn't know that. Thank you. Like, I'm glad you're getting value out of it. Like, holy shit. Like,
yeah.
and then
It's
it gives you
awesome.
that little bit of a push to keep going, right?
Yep,
Because
yep,
for me, like, yeah, I'm doing this because I feel like this is what I want to do. I feel this is my purpose, you
yep,
know.
yep,
And I also just love talking to really cool people for 45 minutes uninterrupted. It's
yeah,
fun. Like, what
yep,
else are you going to do that? But I feel like it's really funny because um as you first start out with creating shows, like literally there's like three people that listen, right? And you're like, oh my God, who are those three people? I want to shake their hands. This is amazing. Three
yeah,
people listen. Then you drop like 10 more shows and you're like, oh my God, there's only 500 people that listened. What the fuck's going on? What
yeah.
happened? What's going on with my
It's
analytics?
all
They're
relative.
down.
Yeah, yeah,
But dude, like if literally 500 people walked into this room right now
yeah.
and were watching this show in person, I would be overwhelmed. 500's a lot of people. Let's be grateful for those souls, right?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Everyone is beyond important. I mean, it's OG alliteration, man. Rome wasn't built in a night, kind of a thing, man. It's like
Yeah.
you can't just one day hope to get a big old lump sum of money to be rich. You got to build that wealth. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's what it is. That we are we our wealth is people that enjoy and love our music, love your content, whatever it is, and the more people, the better. In any facet of this community. But so thank you everyone that's listening. I appreciate you. Sean appreciates you, and yeah, man. Hopefully we'll link up soon. We'll get a show. We'll come down to Fort Lauderdale, see me play.
When are you coming?
Well, hold on, let me get this phone out real quick.
I think you said it was like this summer, like maybe June or
A couple
July.
times, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, it is like four. It's like the weekend after 4th of July weekend. So like six, seven,
Sweet. I'll be in town.
6, 7, 8, 9. We're in Florida. It's
Bro, I
between
don't go on vacation until the 25th.
when you gotta come hang, bro.
Well,
We
I'm
gotta
done.
hang.
I'm there. I'm there.
I
I'm
have the
there.
40s lined up, ice down, just for you when you get there.
Yes. The wife will be like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "You didn't listen to the episode, did you? You should have known this was
You
coming.
should have known this
You
was
should have
coming.
known we are gonna be sitting there drinking 40s backstage at this cat's concert, man. I appreciate you, dude.
Sir,
Let
man.
real quick though, tell everybody, what you kind of what you have lined up this summer. I have listeners all around, so I want them to be able to know where they can find you, your website, your tour dates, and I'll do my best to put everything in the show notes. They can just click on it.
Cool.
But
Perfect.
where are you gonna be, man, other than Fort Lauderdale?
Well, I'm gonna pull my calendar up for you. What you can do is if anywhere like Instagram, um, Twitter, Facebook, anything, just Matt Ferranti Music. All right, even on YouTube. If it's on TikTok, it's just Matt Ferranti. Somehow I got that. I don't know how I pulled that off. Was it
You
like
ain't got to pull your
Matt
phone out.
Ferranti
Don't
7479434?
user number underscore Matt Ferranti. You don't have to pull your phone out, man. I'll put in the show notes. These people can go and click the link and find where you're going to be
Yeah,
and go link up with you. But dude, I just appreciate taking the time. out of your schedule to be on the show
Yeah, man.
and
Anytime.
chat, man, because I think I know someone got something out of what you said, and you know, you're a grinder. You know, you don't stop. You're a runner like myself, and I see it in you. And it was just one of those things, man. It was just an instant, like, it was like a click, man. I was like, cool, this dude, he
Sir.
understands. He doesn't know me, he's never met me, but I think he understands me, right?
Yeah,
So,
sure.
I appreciate you, my man, for
Yeah, I love you,
sure.
dog. I appreciate you. Let's link up soon. Just shoot me a text in a couple of days, and we'll link up. Make sure.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Just so, guys, listen, share the show. If you're listening for the first time, please subscribe to the show, leave a review, and we're going to be posting a bunch of stuff out on social media, a bunch of clips. Interact with them. Let us know what you think, and but more than anything, give this man a follow. Listen to his music. It's all over Apple Apple Music. I
Spotify,
downloaded most
Amazon Music, all that stuff.
everything. Like, go search his name, listen to his stuff. It's got a nice little, you know, R&B feel to it. It's
Little
just super.
sprinkle, little salt
It's
bay.
just sprinkle that shit right on there. It's amazing. So thank you so much, Matt. And
Hey, German
hey,
Society
man,
podcast, baby. German Society.
that's it. They better recognize. All right, y'all. Y'all be good. Peace.